All right, so I'm just making this last little part to show I'm going into off duty.
Are you drinking soda?
Off duty, DOT restart next, and confirm changes is 15:33. So that comment that I got, it is Friday. I had the option of being home again Thursday or today, which I've been home Thursday plenty of times. I've been home Friday plenty of times. I've been home late Friday plenty of times since being here. I got home on a Saturday or maybe two. Just saying. What really got me is when he said that I was just worried about the referral bonus, because I have some comments that I need to address.
I came out of smoke with a flame in my chest. Southwest sun sitting heavy on my neck. Every mile I rode carved the line in the map. Now the whole damn state know the legend is back.
All right, so the first comment said that I mismanaged my time at my previous company. They said that my paychecks were low because I took fewer loads. They also mentioned that I was delusional for expecting any kind of flexibility. So to that I say, I was at 32% of the load at my last company. So that means that one of the biggest flatbed carriers in the United States, I was in the top third of the country. You don't get there by mismanaging anything. You get there by executing. When I left there and I came over to my current company, I hopped right into a truck, little boy. I didn't come here and get a trainer. So shout out to my previous trainer, Frank. If you see this, that's who taught me to run my clock and who taught me to run my clock efficiently. So if I was mismanaging anything, if I was struggling with anything, when I got here and hopped right into a truck without a trainer, how am I flourishing here but was struggling there? That kind of answers itself. I'll kind of explain how last week went into this week, right? So last week I had Monday off. Monday I had a doctor's appointment that was scheduled for the afternoon, so it made no sense for me to leave out, right? At least in my mind. So once I pulled out on Tuesday, I went from Dallas to Conway, Arkansas. From there, from Columbia, I think I went to Gurdon, Arkansas. From Gurdon, Arkansas, I turned back around. This is going the opposite direction, mind you. And then from Gurdon, Arkansas, I went back all the way across Arkansas into Tennessee to Columbia, Tennessee. I made my drop in Columbia, Tennessee. I also got a trailer repair in Columbia, Tennessee. Same day that I got the trailer repair and made that drop, I then turned back around, went to Armorel, Arkansas. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So that's me driving through Tennessee, through a small corner of Missouri, and then heading back south, going toward West Memphis in Arkansas, going to Nucor, Yamato, picked up some coils. Was it coils? No. Anyway, I picked up steel, right? Left from Nucor, Yamato, went to West Memphis, right? I had like 4 hours left on my clock, maybe 3 hours left on my clock, round about that amount. Ran it down to, because it's like an 11 and a half hour drive, or no, like a 10 and a half hour drive from where I was at to where I had to deliver to. And I was like, that's too close to the 11. Let me shave some of that off. Got it down to about 1 hour left on that clock out of the 3. Stayed in West Memphis. The following morning, left from West Memphis I went down to Central Texas and still made it home. That was all splits through the week. Split logs. Wake up, see I have 6 hours on the clock. Take those 6 hours, go drop off. I can make it to Columbia with those 6 hours and I'll still have this amount left, and that'll allow me to do this, that, and that. That's how I run. So no, I never mismanaged my clock, because the same things that I was using there, I brought right over here and been using here. Obviously, doing things the Maverick way, but those, small little, what is it, quintessential, I think is the correct word to use here, but if not, you get what I'm trying to say as the audience. Those little aspects that we all use and that we all learn on how to calculate our clocks and run it efficiently, I'm still using, because that was my foundation. Now, I was talking to another driver from my previous company, and what I heard was that there was a post that was put on their page about one of the FMs, some say DMs, not putting in the repair time correctly so that you could get paid for it, which I've had happen to me several times. I've spoken about how many breakdowns I've had. So no, right? If you know things are going on like that, that's talk between drivers, and it's definitely between drivers if they're at the same company. You can't then hop into the for whatever reason, people want to hop into the comment section and put all of the onus on one person, instead of seeing that there can be truth on each side, right? And the truth lies somewhere in the middle, right? What are things that I could have improved on? I'm sure, possibly, right? There's things that I could have been kind of blind to or ignorant to, especially when I first started. Within that first 3 months, and I had, I'm still trying to get used to being on the road by myself. But all I did was get better and better and better, and tighter turns and more efficient. And as that happened, it seemed like things just kept going back to back. Like, what am I doing? Like, I know I'm doing everything right, but that's not part of this video. Before I get into all of that, this comment is outlandish. And when you come into my comment section, if it's not a part, you can even have a dissenting opinion. If it's respectful and you're not trying to, stab and jab and take shots, the comment will be left there. We'll have a very beautiful and respectful conversation and move on, right? And everybody can read it and see the discourse and take from it what they need to take from it. But when you're nasty and disrespectful, immediate block. Oh yeah, and I can't forget one very important thing, right? While I'm driving from Dallas to Conway or whatever to Arkansas, I start seeing the storms starting to pop up. And if you don't know terminology, right, I was under the leading edge of this storm system. So above me is nighttime. It's called the shelf cloud. Above me, nighttime. Behind me, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I'm watching the trees like really like getting at it. In front of me, daytime. To the north of me, because I'm traveling east, so to the north of me, it's this electric green hue coming out of the clouds, right? Kind of a bluish tint, but mostly like electric green hue. And I'm trying to stay either right under the shelf or to get out of it. And I pull out of the shelf cloud. And eventually, get engulfed in it a little bit, get blown around, right? Get back out of it. The one and only time I got engulfed and I decided not to move anymore was because of the fact that I had to stop for a mandatory load check. And then I felt that wind whip up and that rain started coming down. I was like, I might as well stay, because if I move, then that messes up the break time and all that other stuff. So all of that to say, mismanaged? No, right? I know who I am. And I know what my work ethic is. This next comment, right? The reason why I removed it, this man really tried to make me seem like a sleazy slime ball. One of the biggest things I talk about, if you follow the channel, you actually listen to what I have to say, is the big things that I always talk about is giving back to our community, right? And not just the community of truckers, but giving back to blue collar families and blue collar workers, period. I just had a giveaway. The person that won the strap winder didn't claim it. So that one might be on the table, but the person that won the edge protector pole, they got the edge protector pole. And at the end of I'm going to put this comment up, and I'm going to go through each point. But at the end, what he said was that I was focused on racking up my referrals on my checks. That's not the focus, right? Like, at all. Yes, it's nice to get referrals. Thing about this, if I'm trying to give back to the community and I do get referrals, you think that's all? You don't think I'm planning what I can do to help and to benefit the communities that I belong to? Right? You don't think I'm looking at my brothers and sisters in the trucking world and going, how can I be of benefit to them? I started out this video with the concept of Tikkun Olam and repairing the world. So let's get into the rest of where he faltered at. I was paying attention. I'm not stupid. I noticed that he has points behind what he was saying. But again, looking at it, I saw the underlying message. Right? And there was a few things I corrected him on. He said that Maverick was mandatory 2 weeks out. Now, yes, if you're glass or you're bolts or something like that, I said, hey, I'm regional. I'm home every weekend. And he goes off on me. If you paid attention to my entire comment, I said mandatory 2 weeks. I was home every weekend. So which one is it? Is it mandatory every 2 weeks, or were you home every weekend? Right? I also told him that just because you have your TWIC and just because you have, your passport and, all of the other little point building items at the other company, doesn't mean that if something doesn't go wrong, or if something goes wrong, you still won't slide back on points. Because those little bit of points, they do a little something, but they don't do enough to keep you up high. Because I had points added. I did my TQM courses. I did I got my TWIC card, I would have gotten the Hazmat, but I was out. And even that Hazmat would have added just a few more points. But the other stuff that most people end up stop doing eventually, but I didn't. I tried to keep on going with it, parking up, things like that. And those definitions will be in other videos. I corrected him on that. And, old boy that said that I wanted the referral bonuses to stack on my check. If he watched my full video, which clearly he did not, he would have seen me say that while I was at TMC, I never once asked for a referral. I never even mentioned the fact that the only reason people knew was because they would see the trucks or they would see the mud flaps that had their name on there. If I was worried about a referral bonus and money was the only thing that mattered to me, I would have been doing the same exact thing there because you got paid for referrals there as well. Oh yeah, tell them I sent you. Yeah. Here goes the names of the recruiters. Because if I was struggling there, then that's when I really would have needed the referrals to help, you know what I mean, kind of up in some of that struggle, financial struggle. So when we talk, we got to make things make sense here, you know, when it comes to comments. When he said to choose a company that aligns with your life, right? Fair point. He went on to say, you know, TMC is a good company for those who are not in a ton of debt. So I'm like, sir, do you know how many Americans are in debt? A majority of the United States is in debt. The United States is in debt. We're paying car notes, we're paying mortgages, we're paying student loans, we're paying credit card balances. The list can go on and on and on. State taxes, property taxes, personal property taxes, depending on the state that you live in or the Commonwealth, right? A majority of us are in debt. So your advice was to not be in debt. That's a simpleton answer. And it just sounded good before you said it out loud, right? That's like saying to a person that's drowning, just don't be in the water. And he really got me when he was trying to prove a point. And he said he's been in this industry since he was 6 years old, that he used to drive with his father in his concrete mixer. And I'm thinking, my son has been in the passenger seat of my truck. He's watched me repair tarps. He's watched me redo my tarps because I didn't like how they looked. My wife has actually traveled with me across the country in the truck. That doesn't make either one of them flatbed operators. You know what I mean? I'm like, that was a field trip. But, you know, who am I? I consistently say it, and I'll say it all over. I'm not here to worry only about finances, right? I'm glad that my current company has got me out of the rut that I was in, right? With just my base checks alone. I'm very happy for that, and I thank y'all for that every single day. But when it comes to recruiting, that's not the point of the channel, right? And if I do get a referral bonus, that's just extra added on where I can say, let's take care of the community. Like, they hooked me up. Let me find a way to hook us up, right? To hook drivers up, to hook electricians up, you know, hook up people that's in need, right? So yes, referral bonuses, nice, but I'm not out there, boom, give me the, you know, paper. You know, you give to me, I give back. That's the point of the channel. Tikkun Olam, right? Again, full circle. So that's what I'll close with. Yet again, so that it's fresh on your mind. Repairing the world, one step at a time, and leaving whatever I touched better than what I found it. So hopefully you took something away from the video, right? And if this has positively influenced you or positively affected you, or, you know, these are matters that's important to you, again, I ask that you like and subscribe and also share. But if you stuck it out this far, thank you. Again, subscribe to the channel. And you've ridden with Steel Horse. Let's all repair the world together. God bless, and I hope you guys have a good night, day, evening, weekend. Happy 4th of July whenever you watch this video. I'm out.